Is the US really ready to push out Japan's automotive giants? What would happen if Washington imposes a 25% tariff on Toyota and Honda? Detroit, the heart of America's auto industry, runs on Japanese power. 7 Japanese car makers, from Toyota to Subaru, directly and indirectly support over 500,000 American jobs and generate more than $170 billion in US sales annually. But now, Washington is considering a 25% national security tariff on these vehicles. If implemented, this tariff wouldn't just raise showroom prices, it would shake the entire supply chain, from seat factories in Ohio to steel mills in Alabama. This debate has shifted from diplomatic theory to real economic consequences. Since late 2024, tense negotiations between Washington and Tokyo have highlighted how serious the situation is. If Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Subaru, Mazda, Mitsubishi, and Suzuki pull back production or leave the US market entirely, how many jobs will vanish? How much money will disappear? The total Japanese automotive footprint in America is immense. $1.3 trillion when you count the full supply chain, fuel services, logistics, and parts. Auto manufacturing in the US doesn't just build cars, it powers hundreds of other industries: tech startups, logistics hubs, parts suppliers, and steel producers. In 2023, Toyota built 1.25 million vehicles in the US, Honda about 1 million, Nissan over 770,000, and Subaru more than 220,000. Total Japanese vehicle volume sold in the US was 6.3 million, about 43.6% of the entire market for passenger and light commercial vehicles. With an average exit price of $38,650 per unit, Japanese branded vehicle sales in 2023 generated around $170 billion. Of this, more than $31 billion flowed into the US tax system, covering corporate tax, payroll taxes, and infrastructure costs. This money helps fund schools, hospitals, and roads in key states like Kentucky, Ohio, and Alabama. But if the 25% tariff goes through, can Japanese automakers survive? Currently, US production uses a large percentage of domestic components. Camry and RAV4 lines are 72% locally sourced, Honda Civic is 68%, Nissan Rogue is 58%. But many vital parts, batteries, transmissions, tech systems, still come from Japan or Mexico, meaning they'll also be taxed. That effectively doubles the cost for these companies. With operating margins already slim, Toyota at 7.1%, Honda at 5.6%, Nissan at 4.3%, a 25% tariff could push them into financial loss territory. This could trigger downsizing or even full exits. And that brings us to the human impact. Toyota employs 35,000 direct US workers and supports over 90,000 indirect jobs. Honda employs 28,000 directly and 61,000 indirectly. Nissan, Subaru, Mazda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, and Suzuki together contribute tens of thousands more. Total, over 500,000 US jobs tied to these Japanese automakers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, their total payroll and benefits top $93 billion annually. Removing Japanese automakers could raise unemployment in states like Mississippi and Alabama by up to 2.6 percentage points. The US government would also lose a major stream of tax revenue. A sharp decline in Japanese auto sales could cost the Treasury up to $26 billion by 2027. These losses include taxes on shipping, dealer fees, service centers, and port logistics. But this isn't just about economics. It's about know-how. For decades, the US auto industry has borrowed lean production methods from Japan, like just-in-time, Kaizen, and total quality control. Over 190,000 American workers are trained in these systems. If Japanese factories close, this industrial knowledge and its productivity boost could vanish overnight. There's also a hidden financial risk. Japan holds over $1 trillion in US Treasury bonds. If trade tensions trigger even a small sell-off, the 10-year Treasury yield could rise by 30 to 45 basis points, threatening interest rates and inflation control efforts. Some believe American automakers can simply take over the Japanese market share, but this isn't so simple. Ford, GM, and Stellantis are all committed to full electric by 2030. They don't have the capacity to restart compact hybrid lines in under 2 years. Even Tesla can't bridge the gap alone. No US car maker today is planning to launch a new 800,000 unit compact SUV plant. Even if they did, permits and construction would take 22 months or more. That means any shortfall in Japanese production would result in higher prices, lower supply, and weaker consumer confidence just when the Fed is trying to ease inflation. In short, this proposed 25% tariff is not just a tax on imported sedans. It risks crippling an entire ecosystem of jobs, innovation, and investment. The exit of Japanese automakers could release hundreds of thousands of workers, billions in tax revenues, and decades of industrial knowledge into a vacuum. On paper, the goal may be to shrink the trade deficit, but in practice it could raise bond yields, disrupt logistics, inflate used car prices, slow down production, and destabilize inflation expectations. If Japan's efficient, lean manufacturing systems are replaced by slower, less flexible models, US competitiveness could slowly unravel. Even in the worst-case scenario where Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Subaru, and others shut down US operations, the auto industry won't stop immediately. But the gears will slow, costs will rise, and American industry could lose its hard-earned edge. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to stay informed on our latest content.